Hey, it's Vicky, and to me it feels like it has been a while since I have sat down and filmed a video because, to put it bluntly, December has just been kicking my ass. There's just been a lot going on. Firstly, I spent the majority of the month of December sick. I'm still on medicine, so I'm getting better, but I was sick for many weeks. It was miserable. I also had a family member that has been in the hospital for the majority of the month of December and is still on the mend. Not home yet, but still on the mend. So that was an added stress on top of the normal holiday stresses, you know, to make the Christmas magic happen and to do all the traditions and all of the things and all the Christmas preparations. And then on Christmas, 3 of the 4 of us were sick. And then today, my washer decided to start leaking and my laundry room was flooded. So December has not been very nice to me. And I, quite frankly, am ready to say goodbye to December and to 2023 in general, because the last few months of 2023 have been rather unkind. So but today I want to sort of push all that aside and start thinking ahead and thinking of things that make me happy. And one of the things that makes me happy are new book releases to get excited about. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about winter 2024 releases. These are books that are coming out in January, February, March of 2024 that I am looking forward to checking out for one reason or another. There are, I think, 7 of them, so let's dive in. So the first 2024 winter release that I am interested in is The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. And Rachel Hawkins is an author that I have seen her books pretty much everywhere I go, every bookstore I go to, her books are there. And a couple of them have sort of intrigued me, but I just haven't taken the plunge and tried any of them. But this one, The Heiress, just sounds like for some reason, a good January read. And it entails a story about this very rich woman in North Carolina who, in her childhood, she was kidnapped. And it was sort of an infamous event. And her family was a very prominent family in the area. And then in her adulthood, she was married 4 times and widowed 4 times. So there's a little bit of scandal there, mystery there. And anyways, when this woman dies, she leaves her estate to her adopted son. I think his name's Cam. And he wants nothing to do with it. He's like living his life in Colorado. He doesn't want her money or anything to do with that part of the family. But then 10 years later, he sort of gets brought back in by an uncle or something. And then all these sorts of questions start coming up about his adopted mother. What really happened when she was kidnapped as a child? What was the story there? What about the 4 husbands who died? All that good stuff. So it just sounds mysterious. It sounds a little juicy, a little dramatic, and I think it'll be a fun read, so I'm gonna check it out. The next 2024 release that I'm excited about comes out January 9th, and I think I forgot to mention it, but The Heiress also comes out on January 9th of 2024. But this one, the next one, is called Poor Dear by Claire Oshetsky. And this one is about a little girl named Margaret who loses her best friend Agnes, and we're not really sure the details, but somehow Margaret was either there or something, and so she feels a lot of guilt and like responsibility for whatever happened, and she's trying to process it. And so she is a very imaginative little girl, and she starts to sort of invent these sort of fairy tales and things to help her process her trauma. And one of them is this creature named that she calls Poor Dear. And Poor Dear sort of helps her come to terms with her loss and her feelings about that loss. And so it just sounds like a great book about processing the hard things in life, and the ways in which especially children will do that. And so it just sounds heavy, but also sort of fantastical and different. So that's why I want to check it out. And then the last January 2024 release that I'm interested in comes out on January 16th. And it is called Behind You is the Sea by Susan Muadi Daraj. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But this one centers around 3 Palestinian families that have come to America. I'm not sure where exactly in America they've come to, but you're basically following these 3 families, one of which is a very wealthy family, another that is not so wealthy. In fact, one of the people in that family is like a maid or servant for the wealthy family. And then the 3rd family, I'm not sure where they lie. Maybe they lie somewhere in the middle. But you're just following them and what life is like for them, being immigrants and sort of living the American dream while also trying to stay tied to their Palestinian roots and to their Palestinian history and heritage. So it just sounds like the type of story that I like. I do like books about families, especially when there's multiple families and they're sort of interconnected. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. The only February 2024 release that is sort of on my radar right now comes out on February 6th, and it's called 50 Beasts to Break Your Heart by Jenna Rose Nethercott. And first of all, the cover of this book is stunning. It's beautiful. But this is a short story collection, I want to say. And the stories are sort of fantastical, weird, horrific. I thought I read somewhere in the blurb that it's compared to Karen Russell, people that like Karen Russell. Her stories are also different, and I've enjoyed them. So this seems like for a short story collection, it'll really tick a lot of boxes for me. I like the weirdness. I like the maybe kind of the creepy, just oddness of it. A couple of the stories seem to deal with coming of age type stories, which you guys know I really like. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. This might be one I might purchase because the cover is just so gorgeous. Now we're gonna get into the March releases, and the first one comes out March 5th, and it's Simone St. James' new book called Murder Road. And this one is basically about a haunted road, which I think is one of those sort of urban legend sort of stories that like every town has. You know, every town has that one road that you don't want to drive down at night. I know I do. My neighborhood has it too, has one too. And this one is about a married couple who are not from the area. I think they're on their honeymoon or something. They're passing through and they go down this road and they encounter a ghost. And then they sort of get dragged into this whole investigation or something about like all these murders have occurred on this road and they've never been able to solve them and all of that. So it sounds like sort of just one of those sort of classic scary sort of stories that you could really put anywhere, like I said, and it should be a lot of fun. Simone St. James typically delivers for me. Her last book wasn't my favorite, but usually I really like her stuff, so I'm looking forward to reading it. So the next March release that I am looking forward to comes out on March 5th as well, and it's called The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Keist. And I read Gwendolyn Keist's book Reluctant Immortals last year, and I really liked it. I thought it was really different. She took sort of a classic story and did a really cool retelling. And so I'm interested in seeing what this one is about. And it basically, the blurb just has me intrigued because it says that it is about 3 childhood friends who survive the night that everyone in their suburban hometown is turned into ghosts. And I was like, everyone? That just sounds different. Because usually a story like this, you would go to a specific, you'd go to a house and you'd have to survive the night in the house or something like that. But the whole town becomes ghosts. Like, that sounds creepy and fun and one that I definitely want to check out. And then the last book that I am looking forward to comes out on March 19th. And this one is sort of a departure from the rest of the books that I've kind of listed here because it has nothing to do with anything supernatural or a thriller or anything like that. It's called The Divorcees by Rowan Beard. And it basically is about, takes place in 1950s America, where at the time, it was really difficult to get a divorce in America. You couldn't just get a divorce for irreconcilable differences or whatever. Except in Reno, Nevada. I want to say it was Reno. Yes, in Reno, Nevada. You could go to Reno and get a divorce, but you had to establish residency and live there for 6 weeks before you could file for divorce. So the story is about these women that want to get a divorce from their husbands, and they go to Reno and they stay at this sort of resort for 6 weeks, establish residency so they can file for divorce. And in the meantime, they're just like hanging out, swimming in the pool, horseback riding, playing cards, getting to know each other, da-da-da. And then this one particular woman shows up and sort of shakes things up. But the whole concept is just sort of interesting to me, that because obviously nowadays that is not the case. Like, it's, you know, it's not, you don't have to have, in most places in America now, you don't really need a reason to get a divorce. So it's interesting that not so long ago that wasn't the case. Divorce wasn't as simple, and that these women had to go to these lengths to get a divorce. So I'm interested in reading it. I think it's a little different. It's not like something I don't think I've ever read anything like before. So I want to check it out. Hopefully it's good. All right, guys, so those are some winter 2024 releases that I am looking forward to. Let me know if any of these books are on your to-read list or anticipated list, because I would love to know. And let me know if there were any other books coming out in January, February, March that I may have missed that you think I should know about, because I would love to know that. And I guess that's it. I'm going to hopefully have a little string of videos coming throughout the rest of this week to sort of make up for my absence in December, because there is a lot of sort of year-end things that I want to get out, talking about reading goals and all of that sort of thing, and just end of the year stuff. So you guys can look out for that. And that's it. So I hope that December has been treating you a lot better than it has treated me. And I will chat with you soon. Thank you so much for watching.